You know that feeling, right? That sudden, heart-pounding dread the moment a camera turns on? It's this surprisingly common fear that can absolutely sabotage even the most confident people out there. But what if I told you it's not some personality flaw? What if it's a brain function that you can actually understand and, better yet, control? Well, today we're going to break down the psychology of what's really going on and give you the tools to conquer it for good.
So first up, let's talk about what this thing actually is. People often call it red light fever, that feeling of just completely freezing up the second you know you're being recorded. And look, it happens to the best of us, and the reason why is, well, it's pretty fascinating.
I mean, think about this for a second. We see it all the time, right? Leaders who are just absolutely dynamic, totally authoritative in front of a big crowd, but you put them in front of a camera and suddenly they're stumbling over their words. And that right there tells you something really important. This fear, it has nothing to do with a general lack of confidence. It's about something else entirely.
Okay, so if it's not a simple lack of confidence, then what is going on here? What's causing this incredibly powerful reaction? Well, the answer isn't in your personality. It's actually in how your brain is wired to handle pressure.
And this is the big idea that's going to change everything for you. That feeling we all label as anxiety isn't really what you think it is. It's simply your brain's reaction to one very specific thing, uncertainty. So let's break down exactly what that means.
Right. First and most importantly, let's just get this out of the way. If you feel this fear, it does not mean you are weak, or you're shy, or you're a bad speaker. It is a completely normal cognitive response to a very specific set of circumstances. It's not you, it's your brain. So the technical term for what's happening here, it's a cognitive load problem. And put simply, it just means you're asking your brain to juggle way too many tasks all at once, and it starts to short circuit. It's kind of like trying to run too many apps on your computer. You know what happens. Eventually, everything just freezes.
And this is the perfect way to picture what's happening inside your head. Your brain is trying to be two different people at the same time. On one hand, you're trying to be the visionary. You're focused on your message, your story, on connecting authentically. But at the exact same time, your brain is also trying to be the technician, worrying about, is the lighting okay? Is my mic on? Is the gardener next door being too loud? The problem is, you just can't do both of those jobs well at once. It's impossible.
So here's the bottom line. That feeling you call anxiety, it's just your brain running this constant, exhausting background process, trying to solve for all these unknown technical variables. It completely drains your mental energy, leaving you with very little left for your actual performance.
Okay, so if the problem is your brain juggling way too many things, well, the solution is actually pretty simple. We have to start taking things off its plate, systematically. The cure isn't about trying to be more confident. No. It's about creating an environment where confidence is just the natural result. Seriously, I want you to really let this sink in. Confidence isn't some magic trait you either have or you don't. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that shows up when your brain perceives the environment as safe and predictable. When you feel safe, you can't help but be confident. All right, so how do we actually build this safe space? It turns out we can literally manufacture that feeling of confidence. And it comes down to a really practical, repeatable process using a simple 3-step framework.
And it really all boils down to these 3 simple steps. First, you're going to offload all the technical worries. Second, you're going to add structure to your content so you never feel lost. And third, you're going to learn to completely trust your environment. Let's dig into each one.
Step 1 is all about freeing up your mind. You have to consciously, and I mean really consciously, hand over the technician's job to someone or something else. This could mean working with a producer, or it could just be a simple checklist before you hit record. Think of it like a pilot's pre-flight check. Is the mic working? Check. Lighting set? Check. Notifications off? Check. Creating a little ritual like this formally transfers that responsibility and allows your brain to finally let go and focus completely on being the visionary.
Okay, step 2 tackles that other huge source of uncertainty, the fear of running out of things to say. By structuring your content beforehand, having a clear beginning, middle, and end with all your key points mapped out, you create a roadmap for yourself. You're never lost because you always know exactly where you're going next. You become the showrunner of your own content.
And finally, you have to be able to trust the room. Because there's nothing worse, right, than giving the performance of your life only to find out the audio is garbage. When you know, without a doubt, that your environment is capturing clean data, you can stop performing and just start communicating. You can finally relax into your authority and just lead the conversation.
Okay, so once you've done all this, once you've built this safe space, why does it matter so much? Especially right now. Because what audiences want from experts, what they crave, has fundamentally changed. Think about it. In a world that's getting flooded with polished, perfect AI-generated content, what becomes more valuable than ever? Real, human connection. People don't want a flawless robotic presenter anymore. They want to connect with the real you, the passionate, the knowledgeable, and yeah, maybe the sometimes imperfect person behind all that expertise. Freeing yourself from those technical worries is what allows that person to finally show up.
And that is the mindset shift you have to make. Your job isn't to worry about the lighting or the sound. That's just the packaging. Your real job, your only job, is to deliver your unique expertise, that incredible product that's inside. Let everything else just fade into the background. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Because this framework is powerful for being on camera, for sure, but it applies to so much more. In any area of your life where you want to show up with more confidence, with more authority, just ask yourself this: what uncertainty, what unknown variables can I eliminate so I can stop managing and finally start leading?